Hello guys, LJ here once again with another book review. And the book I'm going to review is the 1960 American classic novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Now this is an immensely popular book. I'd be very surprised if you hadn't even heard of this. And this book mainly deals with racial inequality in the US. Now, this book mainly revolves around a household consisting of Atticus, the father, Jem, or Jeremy, the brother, Scout, the sister, and Calpurnia, the servant. Now, while this book does have its intense moments of violence, aggression, racial inequality, and the like, it manages to keep the matters very soft and warm. In some cases, slightly humorous. And now basically it's just at first talking about Scout and Jem growing up in the household. And so yes, the book mainly focuses on the group of Atticus, Jem, and Scout Finch. They're living in Alabama in the 1930s, I believe. And it just talks about their goings-on. It focuses on the Radley house, a house down the street from the Finches, which has some very mysterious undertones about it. People tend to avoid that house, they're frightened by it, because basically, some very mysterious events, I'm not going to spoil what they were, but some very mysterious events took place at that house, and one of the house's inhabitants, Boo Radley, is never seen anymore, and people are very curious as to why. This book follows Scout and Jem in school. It talks a little bit about how Scout tends to get in trouble a lot because Scout, the girl, has a very aggressive behavior. She tends to get in fights with a lot of students. And then this book progresses until it reaches what I consider one of the most intense, gripping moments in this entire novel. And that is the case of Tom Robinson. Atticus Finch, the father, happens to be a lawyer. And Tom Robinson is an African American who's accused of raping a young white woman. There's a lot of little arguments going on, and this scene in court where Tom Robinson is on trial, that takes up a few chapters, and it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. And so yes, this is one of the books I had to read for summer reading. All in all, I have to say out of the 3 books I read for summer reading, I enjoyed A Separate Peace by John Knowles the most. This I enjoyed the second most, and then The Help by Catherine Stockett is probably last. But To Kill a Mockingbird was a definitely interesting read, very entertaining. I suggest anybody to go out and buy this. This is a true classic here. Definitely say this is one of those books you should read before you die. And I just think the quite amazing thing that Harper Lee does is she captures this huge cast of characters and she makes them seem so fleshed out and believable. And take my word for it, I kid you not, there's a plethora of fully developed, fleshed out characters in here that yes, you can really relate to. Just a great, amazing cast of characters in this book. And actually, going into this book, I was expecting a very dry, kind of dull writing style from Harper Lee, slightly on the Old English side maybe. But I was surprised by how fresh and new her writing style is. It's quite a treat to experience. And I'd have to say, being the horror fan that I am, one of my favorite moments in the entire book was the descriptions and dealings with the Radley house. It really reminded me of something out of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Just great, eerie, creepy descriptions. I love it. And throughout this story, you got Jem and Scout really growing up, becoming more mature, really coming to understand the racial issues that are going on, and not doing anything to maybe disrespect others. And yes, while this book obviously, again, deals with racial injustice, it also heavily deals with courage, bravery. I mean, you have maybe Atticus on the Tom Robinson case. You have a moment in the story with Mrs. DeBosey, a neighbor, and she's trying to fight her morphine addiction. It's actually rather funny when you see Jem growing up and looking down at his sister and correcting her and telling her what and what not to do, how to act proper, and he's only like 11 years old. I just found that rather funny. And again, with the Tom Robinson case, since Atticus Finch, a white man, is defending an African American in legal issues, a lot of Jem and Scouts, students in school, neighbors, even relatives, make fun of Atticus Finch behind his back for doing that and standing up. You read this and you're just amazed that this captures the great feeling and depth of the not too distant past. You may notice the title, To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, the mockingbird is referenced countless times in this novel. First, in the novel, when Atticus gets his children some rifles, he tells them they can shoot all the blue jays they want, but they shall not shoot a mockingbird because it is a sin to shoot a mockingbird. Tom Robinson, the African American who is unjustly ruled guilty in court, he is the mockingbird of this novel. And also, this book was made into a 1962 film by the same name. I've heard many great reviews of it online, and some have even claimed it's a work of art. And so, I would have to give To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee a 5 out of 5. Just a great, eye-opening tale of America's past. Also just a great, realistic account of two children growing up in that time. And that's all, folks. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And just forewarning you, due to school, I'm very busy nowadays, and I'd say I'd only be able to get up a new review once a week now. Maybe once every Friday or Saturday. So, yeah, I should have a new video review out once a week. Catch you later.